Hello friends, I'm Tanisha from Mount Foundation. Today I'm here with my colleague Asraf and we will be speaking to Miss Shruti Agrawal who is a PhD scholar at IIT Bombay. Hello Shruti, how are you?
I'm good.
Would you like to give us a small introduction?
So I'm Shruti Agrawal and I am a PhD student at IDC IIT Bombay, and this is my last year of PhD, which is like my 5th year just started.
That's great, that's great. So Shruti, what do you think about men's mental health and not any other gender basis mental health?
Men's mental health, I think it's something which is very less talked about in general, and also uh, more than other people, it's men themselves who I think do not talk about their own mental health.
Correct.
So that is my perception about men's mental health.
What do you think is stopping them from speaking so openly about their own mental well-being?
I mean, can't speak for them, but I think there could be a lot of reasons. First thing is, like both of them said, people do not like to open up. Men are not very vulnerable. Like they don't want to be vulnerable. I feel that a lot of times men perform for the society. Like they will perform as a father, they'll perform as a elder brother, as a boyfriend, and all of that. And they want to be there for people around them, and they want to. So a lot of times, because they are trying to perform or play the role, sometimes what happens is they themselves are not, acquainted with their own feelings,
Right.
and that performance becomes intrinsic as well, and to an extent that things remain inside and never get out.
Right. So have you ever come across any men in your life who would be silently struggling but not very acceptive towards his own mental well-being?
I think my father, I like when we lost my grandmother. I mean, my father, at least, like I've seen him crying a lot of times, but also it's like we were not openly always talking about the fact that grandmother is dead, but I saw him like changing after that, and yeah, so that is something which I saw. So and we like, compared to when my mothers, like when my other grandmother died, my mom was more open and she was like constantly talking about her, expressing her feelings. But my father rarely expressed any. Even now, he rarely expresses anything about the fact that she died. And from there, I saw that there's clearly a difference between the ways both of them dealt with same thing.
What do you think is the major reason behind your father not speaking up about his emotions and your mother more expressing it more freely?
I cannot find a reason. The only thing is I can just observe the behavior, and the behavior is that my mom has always been very expressive. Like, not just about this, like if she's not healthy, she'll tell us that she's not healthy, she's feeling pain in her hand, she's whatever, like she's she's not happy with a person, she wants to complain. And when it comes to my father, he will always, like if he's not feeling healthy, he'll just take a pop a pill, let's take a medicine,
Right.
or he'll go to a doctor. Nobody knows what's, like if he has a headache, we'll never get to know that he has a headache. So I think I don't know the reason behind it, but this is what I have always observed. So for me, it also becomes kind of, maybe that's how men are, that's something which is natural. So that's how it has always been.
Do you think that men are actually not aware about their own like stresses or problems, or they do not reflect upon themselves enough?
I'm not sure if they reflect or not. Like, I know few people, so I am sure that there are people who do not reflect at all. And there are people who reflect and who would not want to project it also. And I cannot tell you the reason behind it, but it's mostly because I think that they have internalized the idea that they do not have to express it. Otherwise, they'll be considered weak, or they might be considered, maybe people will not take their problem seriously. Or if they express something to a girl, then the girl will say that, the girl may not like the man enough
Oh.
because he is very emotional or very vulnerable. So things like that would happen. Maybe it's out of fear that they're not doing it.
Right. What is the major problem in our society which does not let men feel very safe or open about themselves and their feelings?
I think it is expectations that the society has from men, and more than that is that men themselves have expectations from themselves. Like they watch all these movies and read all the books, and it's more about internal struggle rather than the pressure that society is putting on you. Because I mean, there are barriers, that external barriers are definitely going to be there. But if you yourself believe in all those things, then you will not be able to cope with that. So I think it's mostly internal, because you have certain dreams. You want to be like somebody, and then you fail to be that somebody. So the pressure that you feel to perform is more. Like for men, I think the pressure is to be financially stable, to be independent, to be physically strong. Like if a man is not very, do not have biceps and things, like they themselves do not feel very confident among different people who have. So I think those things are things that they are themselves creating for themselves, and then I think it keeps on adding up at some point, which can burst at any given time.
Right. So how we women can create a safe space for men to actually open up and speak for themselves, seek help, professional help?
Uh, it's so when I come comparatively, like let's do a comparative analysis. Like if I'm talking to my female friends, I feel that we talk a lot about everything that we are going through, and it is always welcomed. Like whatever we are saying is always welcomed, and then the conversation flows without any problem. But if I try to express something to a man, let's say, then I have observed that they either do not know what to do with that information, or they try to come up with some jokes,
Right.
to
Cover
obviously to cover it up or to make me feel better, but it's not reciprocated the way I want it to be.
Right.
And I'm not sure how to deal with that, but I think the only thing we can do is we can try to talk more, and we can try to not just always get angry, but try to tell exactly what the problem is. Like if as a woman we are trying to talk about something and the man gets like they are not getting it, then instead of trying to getting angry, we need to come up with ways to explain what it is that we are going through.
Yes.
So I think not just communicate, but be able to communicate better could be a way to
Right.
deal with that.
Right. So, what do you think that what is the impact of parenting on men's mental health when they are like adult, or when they are in a stage of life when they have to be settled with a woman?
So for all of this, for this, especially this, I think we do live in a very patriarchal society. Like no matter what we try to do, it's always going to be there, uh, and the way our parents think is different from the way it should be different from the way younger generation think. So I'm not sure. Like, can you repeat your question again? I'm sorry.
So, what is the impact of parenting on men's mental well-being when they are adult, or when they are settling with a woman, with their spouse, wife, girlfriend?
See, I think men are generally treated in a way that like even like a father would expect the man to be the patriarch of the family. So
Yeah,
the way a
that's it.
person is, the way a man grows up is that he believes that he has to be the patriarch of the family, and then the wife comes secondary. A lot of times that's how it happens. So such things can definitely change, create problems for both sides. So I think the like parenting, if there are girls and boys both, then they should be treated equally. You need to provide a space where anyone can choose to be or to act in whatever way they want to be want to act. Like if a girl does not want to make roti, let her not make roti. If a man wants to make roti, let him make roti. Like it's in the small behavioral aspects that you can teach somebody to just be open enough to choose their own path instead of believing everything else that the society wants you to be.
Right.
So I think like if one has enough freedom as they are growing up to choose to act in a certain way, be in a certain way, I think it would be much better.
Right. So, like, we women are considered as the backbone of the society, more of a life creators, and men as the bread earner of the, family. So, why does expectations lead him to not change himself or change his, mental well-being further in life?
Sorry?
So, does this, expectations of the family or society that you are the bread earner, right? And you cannot be like seeking help or being very emotionally vulnerable, not speak about your emotions enough.
It's not just the fact that they have a lot of pressure, but as sir also rightly said, that there is also a lot of ego
Yes.
which
Yes.
stops people from being vulnerable. So yeah, ego is one of the reasons, like all of us have, but generally I think men have more of.
Right. So, what piece of advice you would like to give all the women out there to help and support men's mental health?
I mean, I think it's important to play the role of a person who can challenge, not just I mean, women are not always instruments to create good environment for men. I think all of us can be instruments for each other instead of just dividing it gender wise, right?
Right.
So I think it's important for both men and women to create challenges for each other, to create an environment where communication is possible, and at the same time vulnerability is also possible irrespective of gender.
That's correct. Right. Yes. So, what do you think is the, coming future in which men's mental health will actually be represented? Like till now, it is the most underrepresented part of the society when we talk about mental health. So, what do you think might be the change of future?
I'm not so sure about the future actually, to be honest, because I mean, definitely things are changing. I'm not sure about the extent of the change, because there are all kinds of social forces acting on each of us, and even if at home parents are still aware of how to grow us like a like emotionally mature men, there will be a society again, school students, like, and then in college peers who may end up and under the influence of all these different social forces, people may end up getting uh, again influenced by all those things. So I'm not sure about the future, to be honest, but one can be hopeful.
Right. That's nice. So my final last question to you is, what piece of message you would like to give out to all the men out there who is silently struggling?
I think it's important for everyone to, first of all, be more aware of your own thoughts and your own problems. So maybe things like journaling, things like talking to a friend if that friend is very close, talking to your parents if you're close to your parents, whoever, like at least have one person in your life you can be vulnerable to. If you cannot talk to yourself, because a lot of times many of us are not capable of reflecting on what we are going through.
Correct.
And but there are people in our life who can do that for us. So either be aware enough of your own emotions and acknowledge it, or have a good group of people around you, even one person who can do that for you maybe. So don't just be within yourself, and get out and mingle with people around you and try to talk more.
Right, correct. Thank you so much for speaking with us today. Thank you for giving your valuable time.